What up, people? It's me, Manny. And in case you didn't know, I am a pretty big MegaMan fan. Now, I am a big fan of MegaMan X in particular, which debuted in 1993. So that means this series is turning 30 years old this year, and I don't need a better excuse than that to replay this game. So, how does MegaMan X hold up in 2023? Well, let's discuss. Alright, now the Mega Man games have a pretty long history before we got to the X series. For the record, I never played or owned any of the original Mega Man games. It was a bit before my time. Same thing with Dragon Ball Z, where I've never seen the original Dragon Ball show before starting to watch Dragon Ball Z. But anyways, my first foray with the Mega Man franchise was with Mega Man X. But I'll briefly talk about the original Mega Man story. And yes, very briefly because I want to keep this video short and focused. Mega Man, or Rockman as he's called in Japan, was released for the original Nintendo Entertainment System in December 1987. The story takes place in the year 20XX or 2020, I don't know, what does it matter? It's sometime in the future. Anyways, humans and robots coexist in this world, mostly thanks to Dr. Light, who also created Mega Man himself. But the evil Dr. Wily...
Dr. Wily.
Yeah, that joke hasn't gotten old. Anyways, he creates evil robots, which Mega Man stops, and they go back and forth for 11 freaking games. Now we time skip 100 years into the future where we finally get to the Mega Man X series. Mega Man X was released in Japan on December 17th, 1993. And released in America on January 19th, 1994 for the Super Nintendo Entertainment System. Now, Dr. Light created Mega Man X at the very end of the Mega Man series. But since he made X so advanced with human-level intelligence and emotions, and most importantly, free will, he locked X away for many years to ensure that he would always pick good over evil. Or something like that, I don't know. Anyways, Dr. Kane discovers and awakens X. Amazed by how advanced X is, Dr. Kane studies X and replicates his free will onto other robots that he calls Reploids. But now that all robots have free will, of course some of them are gonna go rogue. So those evil, bad robots are called Mavericks. Now, in order to stop these Mavericks, Dr. Kane and the government create a special police force called the Maverick Hunters, which consists of Reploids. Dr. Kane then creates another very advanced Reploid named Sigma, who will lead the Maverick Hunters. But then, plot twist, Sigma turns into a Maverick. So now it's up to Mega Man X and his partner Zero to stop Sigma once and for all, before he kills all humans or something, I don't know. This is one of those old games that doesn't really tell you all these plot details in the game itself, and you have to like read the manual or something to get all these details. Anyways, that's the gist of the story. Now, I do remember the first time I saw this game in person. I went to my aunt's house and I saw my cousin playing it. I remember being blown away by the game's graphics and gameplay. It was also very simple to pick up and play. After that, I begged my mom to get me that game. I just had to have it. And she did! She bought it used from somebody because I remember the back of the cartridge has somebody's name written on it with marker or something, but I don't care. I was just so happy to finally have my hands on this game. And man, did I love it. I played the crap out of this game and mastered it pretty well, where I could pass this game in about an hour. Now, that's not like a speedrun record or anything, but for me as a kid, that was pretty impressive. I remember when I went to Puerto Rico in the summer of 1995, and it was the last day that I was there and my cousin had this game. He never could pass it, so I told him that I would right before I left on the plane. He was very happy and impressed that I passed it for him right before leaving. It's one of my favorite memories. Now, as for the gameplay, it's very simple. You get to pick from 8 stages in whatever order you please. You blast your way through the level until you get to the end to fight the stage boss. When you defeat them, you get a special weapon ability. For example, when you beat Shield Penguin, you get the Shotgun Ice weapon. Also hidden in these levels are heart tanks that raise your life gauge, sub tanks that you can fill and then later use to fill up your life gauge, and there are 4 hidden armor part capsules that will upgrade your armor, X-Buster, leg parts, and helmet. And after beating all the 8 levels, you play the last 3 levels, get to Sigma, defeat him, and the end. Now, how is this game in its 30th year anniversary? Short answer, pretty damn good. Hell, it might be the best entry in the entire series. Now, just in case, I did replay this game in the Mega Man X collection for the PS4. But come on, same gameplay as the SNES version. Now, I don't know what is it about these older games, but man, there's always seems to be some kind of lag on them. Like a slight second delay with these button presses, like, I don't know. But not that bad that it ruins the whole game. So yeah, I got used to it. The gameplay for the most part is still very smooth. Now, one of my favorite things about this game is that all the bosses have weaknesses. It's kind of like a rock, paper, scissors gimmick. For example, when you get the shotgun ice from defeating Chill Penguin, you could use that weapon against Spark Mandrill and completely obliterate him. I also really love how finishing a level here will affect the environment of another level. For example, Flame Mammoth's level is full of lava and fire hazards that are a pain in the ass. But if you beat Chill Penguin first and then play that level, you'll see all the lava is covered with ice now, and all the hazards with the fire and lava are gone, making the level much easier, and a certain item obtainable now. And yes, all the levels affect each other like this. It's a very cool touch. It's the only game that has the environments affecting each other, as the other Mega Man X games don't have that feature, except for part 3 to an extent. Now, like I said, this game has a lot of secret items hidden all over the levels, but there's this one specific secret that I had no clue about until I was a bit older and had access to the internet. And that is this secret capsule that gives X the ability to do the Hadouken attack from Street Fighter that one-shot kills most enemies. And it's kind of crazy how you unlock this ability. Like, you have to jump off this cliff like 4 or 5 times for it to pop up. It's like, who's gonna find that out? Like, without knowing what you have to do, there's no way you're gonna find that out on your own, really. Very unlikely. But yeah, it's a cool little secret. Now, Zero is one of my favorite characters here, but back then, I thought he was a woman. I mean, look at that long blonde hair, and are those nipples? He has like 2 crystal nipples. Yeah, I thought he had boobs. But no, he's a guy. But yeah, was that just me that thought that he was a female? Let me know in the comments below. Now, the final boss fight here with Sigma is pretty epic. Once you beat him in his regular form, his head is on the floor and then it floats up to this big ass robot body. It was actually kind of creepy when I was a kid. And man, did I forget the trick to this last boss fight because he kicked my ass. I kept sticking to the corners to avoid his attacks, but that was not working. The way to beat him is to stay in the middle and avoid his attacks so you could jump on top of the hand and hit him with his weakness. And the after credit scene where Sigma is all like, oh, my spirit lives on, I'll find a stronger body. It always used to creep me out. Like, man, Sigma is a scary dude. Even though here, he looks like a Sylvester Stallone looking motherfucker. But yeah, 30 years later, this game is still great. From the gameplay to the graphics to the music. Oh, I love the music in this game. To all the little details this game has, it's probably the best one in the Mega Man X series. It's still a blast to blast through all these enemies. You move pretty smooth and fast, with regular enemies putting up enough of a challenge to keep it fun, to discovering all of the boss's weaknesses or just blasting them with your X-Buster. And it is a great platformer. The key here is that this game is still a lot of fun. And again, the soundtrack still holds up, not only making it one of the best soundtracks in the whole series, but probably one of the best soundtracks in the whole SNES library. Yeah, I can't think of anything else bad to say about this game. Like, man, it still holds up. I can see why it made me such a big fan of Mega Man X. I guess the only little thing I can say about it is that the story wasn't fleshed out too well. Like, there's a lot of details here that I did not know about until I was older and read up on it. Like Sigma being a Maverick hunter and then turning into a Maverick. I believe that was not in the game. If it wasn't the manual, I didn't have the manual with the game because it was a used copy like I said, so I totally missed that when I was younger. But this game came out in the 16-bit era, so I can't fault it too much for not being too detailed in the cartridge with its story. Well, they did remake this game for the PSP, and it did come with a movie called The Day of Sigma, which gives you a lot more details into how the whole story happened with Sigma becoming a maverick. But I digress. This has nothing to do with the 16-bit version. But anyways, with that, I give Mega Man X a 9 out of 10. Well folks, those are my thoughts on Mega Man X, a game that still holds up pretty damn good today, and still a lot of fun, and it's probably the best one in the whole series. If you made it this far and you liked the video, well, give the video a like, and share it on social media and subscribe to my page, as it does take a lot of effort and time to make these videos, and any support will be greatly appreciated. So this is going to be my last review in this setting. I am going to be moving and stuff, so yeah, hopefully to make more money. But yes, I'll be in a new setting in the next video and stuff. It'll look very similar to this probably, but it'll be in a new place. So yeah, I've been here a year, and yeah, it was good. I like this spot, but you know, as always, you have to keep moving forward to advance your own career and whatnot. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So hopefully it works well and whatnot. And I'm ad-libbing this, that's why I'm a little stuttery and not focused. But yes, anyways, with that, this has been a review of Mega Man X, just cuz.